students. Good morning, class 11, and glad to meet you on a previous day, and glad to see you all that you are present for registration for class 12th. And while you were in the school, I had talked to you, many of them, regarding their practical files. Some of the new students, those who got admission in our school, and most of them I had talked why they are not submitting their work. While talking to them, they haven't gave me a proper answer. That means or that shows that they are careless in submitting their work. But all these things, now your exams are approaching. Hope in a couple of days you will get a schedule for first term examination and the syllabus related to first term examination. You have to follow the rules and regulations of COVID-19, strictly followed, and take precaution because it is the major source to prevent yourself from the disease. In a previous lecture, I had told you about the gravity and the application of gravity. Now, today's lecture is on, it is related to gravity, and with the help of gravity we do work and motions are there. So today I am going to tell you about force, centripetal force, centrifugal force, and their application in sports. First, before understanding centripetal force, we have to understand what is force. Force क्या चीज है? We have to understand this. The meaning of force. Force can be anything that moves or motion is there. That is force. What is written in the book? Force is anything that produce motion or change motion. Change motion. Suppose I am pushing this pen and it is going towards the direction of recording camera. The force is applied and the motion is it is moving, that is force. While taking round in athletics, participating in relay race, you take a round, you start running and handling over a baton to other, then another partner start running. That is the motion, and the force is applied that I will come first, you will come first, and so on. While playing volleyball, one of the skill is to serve. Serve, that means team A has to cross the net with the ball, it goes to team B. The force is applied by hitting over, head hitting the ball, the force is applied and it reaches to the another section of volleyball court, and the motion is there. The ball is moving toward the other section of court, that is a motion. It is visible but always present with when motion occurs. Okay. It is also necessary to note that there can be force without motion also. There can be force without motion also. Recently, we had talked about when something is moving, but force can be without moving also. You can place your hand on a wall and you try to push the wall. The wall moves? No, the wall remains same. But where is the force is going? Where is the motion is going? It is applied on both of your hands and muscles. The force you are putting on a wall, it reverses in your hands. If a person pushes a wall, it does not move. It means there is no motion of a wall. Even after exerting a force by a person against the wall, in the same way, when two arms wrestlers are pushing against each other, two arms wrestlers, they are pushing, holding their hands and pushing each other with equal force, their arms remain motionless. Their arm remains motionless. आर्म्स जो हैं दोनों रेसलर्स के हिलते नहीं है, मोशनलेस रहते हैं. अंडरस्टैंड? नाउ वी कम टू फोर्स रिलेटेड टू मूवमेंट एंड एक्टिविटीज और मोशन मूवमेंट्स एंड activities. Force related to movements, we can say there are three types of force related to activities, what activities we are doing or what type of movements we are doing. You have to understand that all the physical activity is based on the movement of our body, even the skills what we are playing. First one is the production of force. Production of force. Force production. The force is produced in our body by action of muscles. It is true. Example is while pushing a wall, you are applying your muscles power. By running, taking part in various activities of physical education, big muscles, you take the help of big muscles. If muscles are stronger, the body is capable of producing more force, or it can be said that force depend on the contraction of muscles. That's why it is very important before playing any game, you have to prepare yourselves and do exercise or activities related to the particular game. You will have a good muscles power. Naturally, your game will be more skillful. For example, in high jump, the high jumper should lower the body only step before taking a jump. What he is doing? High jump. What he is doing? He is using a big power muscles of lower limbs. Group of hamstring he is using and applying a big muscles power to jump and cross the bar. That is the production of muscles, production of force from a big muscles. Second is application. This is how we produce and how we applied. How we can apply it, that is the application. The force for an object must be applied in the direction in which it has to travel. Recently, I gave you one example related to high jump. The aim of that high jumper is to jump. What is the aim? To jump and cross that bar in a direction, in a particular direction. Various activities in game and sports involve the projection of the body and another object into the air, such as javelin, discus. To project an object or the body towards forwards efficiently, the force must be applied through the center of weight of object and in a forward direction. It means, this line means, you had seen while throwing javelin, you cannot hold from anywhere. There is a particular center of that javelin, you will have to hold from there only. Otherwise, you will strike on your head, or the what you are trying to do will be not in a proper way, or it will be a foul. So in a javelin there is a particular balance weight, or the center is made from where you can hold and throw that javelin. That is the application of force. Then third one is absorption of force. There are various examples in games and sports where the sports person are required to observe force. How we can observe force? We are using force, we are implementing force. Now, third one is absorption of force. One of the best example is catching a cricket ball. While catching a cricket ball, everyone knows how to play cricket. While catching a ball, how you can absorb the force? Because by catching both hand with the both hand, you had increased the surface of that ball. The ball is small and the surface of both hands are bigger. The force from a ball is divided on a both hand and force is observed. Same in long jump. While jumping, you had seen while landing on a pit, both the legs are opened. That means you had spread the area of force. As the area of force is spreaded, the force will observed easily. When you jump in attention position, you will after a couple of minutes you will feel difficulty in jumping. But in statics position, you jump and land, you will feel more comfortable. Why? Because you had open your feet and create a greater area or a surface, the pressure or a force of a jump is observed. So these are the three types of forces. Okay, production of force, application of force, absorption of force. Now centripetal and centrifugal force. We had came to know about Newton's theory in the lower classes. According to Newton's third law of motion, what is third law of motion? Can anyone tell me what is third law of motion? While watching this video, you will remember all these things are from the lower classes, and gradually it all this has been assembled, and you are reading in class 11th. From every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That is third law of motion, and many of you know it well. When an object is rotating around the fixed axis in a circular path, two opposite force two opposing force at that time, centripetal force and centrifugal force, are there. You are rotating something. Suppose you nailed something and you tie a ball and you rotate a ball. At that time, centrifugal pital and centrifugal force is applied. And where this force are applied, now I am going to tell you. Centripetal force. Centripetal force is defined as a force which keep a body moving with a uniform speed along the circular path and in direction along the radius towards the center. The force is rotating towards the center. That is centripetal force. When something is rotating, there are two types of rotation. One is from center to out and another is from outside to center. It means this: along the radius towards the center. That is called an centripetal force. In simple words, it can be said that centripetal force cause rotating object to move towards the center of axis of rotation. Where will be the axis? If you are rotating something, where will be the axis? Centripetal force that cause rotation object to move towards the center of axis of rotation. The round circle that is making from the radius. You know the radius, that it is taking one round. It is called an axis. The force from center to out and outside to inside. There are two types of force we are talking about here: centripetal force and centrifugal force. We had came to know, in simple words, it can be said that centripetal force is force that cause rotation of any object to move towards the center on our axis of rotation. Okay, hope you understand it. And what is centrifugal force? When a body moves in a circle, centripetal force acts upon it. According to Newton's third law of motion, another force equal to centripetal force but opposite in the direction acts upon. The force is called centrifugal force. When you are rotating a ball on a finger, you had seen the ball is revolving. Centripetal force is applied along with centrifugal force. In simple words, we can understand like this: force that cause rotating object to move away from center or axis of rotation. From center or axis of rotation, that is moving outside. In simple words, we can say, and the sports and games like cricket, in which bat and racket or a club is used, can also be used as an example of centripetal and centrifugal force. So you had came to know about two types of forces, centrifugal and centripetal force. ये डाल